Thank you so much, Dr. Mwashi has introduced. We are the National Negotiation Team that are discussing these matters of strike that's currently ongoing. I just want to confirm that our strike is on, as we gave the notice from 6 and from the commencement that it had from 13. So this marks day 5 of the national strike. And I must say that at this point, because we don't have bare minimums of service provisions, any agreement that has been reached so far, we want to call upon the doctors that are working in Kenyatta National Hospital that are offering minimum services, and those that are working at MTRH on the minimum services, to have this matter a bit escalated so that we can have a quicker resolution to it. In today's meeting, we were meeting with the Ministry of Health, headed by the Cabinet Secretary. I must appreciate that there is understanding that the issues that we are advocating for are pending. To start with is the issue of posting of medical interns. We know very well that we've had a promise before that the interns were to be posted in February. We also had a promise that they'll be posted then in March. Today we've been given a promise that they'll be posted in April. I must say that goodwill is earned, and it's earned from the outcome of previous commitments. We've had commitments before with government, both in the national and on county governments in the month of January 2023, but nothing to date has been implemented. And therefore, as we go on this strike, it's not a strike that we're going to accept promises. It's not a strike that we're going to accept commitments. It's a strike that we want outcomes for the doctors. We want outcomes for the basic salary arrears that has not been paid for 7 years. We want outcome of letters posting the interns as per the collective bargaining agreement that was signed in 2017. We want outcomes that the doctors are struggling with postgraduates, that they can do the exams. We want outcomes that doctors are going to be employed in the country to actually run the UHC. So it's not a strike for promises, it's a strike for real outcomes. And this is why we are saying that the Vice Judge was quite smart to ensure that a whole nation approach has been instituted. So the order that is instituting the whole nation approach was put ahead of the order that was suspending the strike. Therefore, our strike is going to be suspended, and its suspension is pegged on a nation, all-nation approach to resolve the issues that we have put forth. We will not call off this strike without that meeting, without outcomes that are giving value to our members. Thank you. Any questions?
So, which are these issues that they say that you have to move on from these issues?
Well, I must say that there's a collective bargaining agreement of 2017-2021 where the government owes basic salary for 7 years. We have had negotiation for 1 year, and they know they owe us over 3 billion. We have not seen any commitment to have this paid. We've had engagements to have posting letters for interns. Today there was an introduction that a policy review has to be undertaken before posting of the interns, which we totally repudiate, because we believe that the CBA 2017 actually give terms to which interns should be posted. And that's what we stand with. We expect the ministry to actually expedite this process and even give letters to interns tomorrow. We're not going to say we'll go back to work waiting for the letters to be released, because the promises that we've been given before have not been, there's not been outcome. So this time we want result for everything that we have put on our strike notice. We have hospital like Kenyatta National Hospital, where we have over 70 doctors on exploitative contracts. We want those doctors to put in the right terms. We have collective bargaining agreements, which SRC has refused to approve for Kenyatta National Hospital and for Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital. And the reason why we are going to shut down Kenyatta and Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital to allow SRC to come to the right minds and approve the CBAs. Those are the main issues that have to be resolved. We also demand that the shortage of doctors in the country, doctors have to be employed, so that we can have services, so that we can have the UHC. Thank you. in a conversation, a consultative discussion, and there is no any agreement that is there between us and the ministry on the industry policy, because we have not been told the problem with the current policy. So it is very difficult to have a conversation on a new policy when we do not know what is the problem with the current policy. And therefore we have not even seen any document that showing that is a draft of the new policy. So we believe that interns that need to be posted should be pegged on the collective bargaining agreement, which is a court order, and the current policy that's in existence. Because we have also heard that there is a lot of discussion, there's a promise and conversation that there was a plan to reduce the salaries of interns, there's a plan to reduce the salary of doctors, and this is something we can't allow. And that's part of the reason why we are on this regular strike, because we want to protect the salary gains we got in 2017, the salary gains we got in 2011. Otherwise, if we don't protect them, then we know very well that the government are looking for mechanisms to actually reduce this. Because we've seen that happening with SRC when last year they actually put a proposal to remove our non-practice allowance. Probably these are the same review policies that want to be reviewed, which will take the intern salaries downwards. We can't accept that, and we can't discuss that. We have fully complied with the court. And the court gave 6 orders, and I think it's very important that you read them. The 6th order told us to suspend the strike, pegged on the institution of a one nation approach. That order number 542 came before number 6. So we must have that meeting, agree on the issues that we have raised, have a return to work formula that suspend the strike. That's how the court gave that order, and the judge was very wise to put it as the last order. So we are not in contempt of any particular court orders. And again, I must say that if we don't have that one nation approach on the issues, it is us as a union who will take the government for contempt. Thank you.
I have a question on the strike. You say it's day 5 of the strike, and on the first day of the strike, we went around hospitals in Nairobi, but we saw services were still going on as usual. And the hospitals, some of the hospital management say no services were interrupted. So we'd like to know, what is the extent of this strike? Is it partial strike? Is it a full nationwide strike? Are there facilities exempted from the strike?
Initially, we as a union gave a minimum services to be undertaken to the some facilities, and that probably by just doing outpatients. But if you can go visit the hospital wards, then you will understand what you're saying, and you will see the ramification of this. Again, when you see anybody in the hospital putting a white coat, not everybody who put on a white coat is a doctor. You can even see people with white coats in the butchery and delivering meats in the hospitals. And again, for the administrators, they are politicians. We do not do public relations with people's health. When a doctor is there to treat, he's there. People will know. When a doctor is not there, he's not there. And it is not our pride to be out of work. And as I said earlier, it is the government who went on strike before us. We have just joined them, and therefore they have to ensure that they expunge the contempt that they have done for us before we resume our duty. Thank you. Yeah.
You talked about, and also the minister, the six talked about what you're telling the collaboration approach, and you told us here that they told you you only deal with the issues that affect the Ministry of Health. So what are these other issues that have to work other players outside of the Ministry of Health that have you guys collaborate?
For example, we have career progression, which is the postgraduate studies that doctors who have worked for more than 2 years need to be released for postgraduate. This is an issue that has to be done by counties. We have the promotions, where we have many consultants in the counties being paid salary of interns, but on the posting letter that are assigning them duty, they're actually consultants. This was also resolved by different counties. The issue of basic salary of the CBA has to be undertaken by both national government and the county government. The issues of employment. So we cannot say that we can fragment the issue of healthcare for the ministry and healthcare for the county, because as a ministry, it is in charge of the whole healthcare of the country. And that's why when we talk about the UHC, it's not going to be only UHC and the Ministry of Health. It's the UHC for the Kenyans in the different villages where they live. Therefore, government must actually look at an holistic approach to issue of healthcare. We can't only devolve healthcare when it comes to services, but but then we have it all for us when it comes to funds. We have, as you said earlier, we are ready for meetings every time, and when we are invited, we honor it. And I must say, the meeting that we had today with the ministry, we preempted them to give us a meeting because we wanted to discuss this issue. And today we have seen a letter coming from the Ministry of Labour and also inviting the Principal Secretary of Public Service, all the teams that were mentioned there. And there will be a meeting tomorrow, 10 a.m. at the Ministry of Labour. As we said, we will attend all the meetings because we need a solution to this. We don't need promises. We need solutions. We need results. We need outcomes. So essentially our strike is on.
Let us sing the song of the workers of the world. Listen to the words through the voice. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. Again. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. Viva KMPDU, viva! Viva! Long live the union, long live!
Long live!